The other evening, we enjoyed such a wonderful time with the Hernandez family. We had the opportunity to meet with Adrian, Nacole, Ariana, and Alana, and they're so much fun. I'm super excited to get to work for them and go out there and find their right home. But part of that process is getting their mortgage application completed and getting a home loan pre-approval letter. Sometimes that stuff works out right away, and sometimes we need a little bit of work. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that everything works swimmingly for the Hernandez family. The best practice here is to have your ducks in a row and ready to go. And when we're talking about having your ducks in a row and ready to go from a mortgage application standpoint, what that means is that you should have your last 2 years tax returns ready to go, 2 months of your bank statements, both your checking and savings account, and 1 month of your pay stubs from your employer. Another pro tip here is to go ahead and get out that driver's license or that government issued ID along with your social security card or your I-10 card, whichever one might apply to you, to have it ready to go for the loan officer. This will set them up for success in reviewing all of your available loan options with you. In the case of Adrian and Nacole, they completed the online loan application with Bill Marin. Now we're meeting together here in a few moments to actually go over all of their documentation. They wanted to give all of their sensitive personal information to Bill in person as opposed to sending it over the internet. So either way, whether you choose to send it over a secure site such as a mortgage lender's application site, or if you choose to meet with a loan officer in person, it's entirely up to you. All right, so I'm getting here a few minutes early. I always like to try to arrive before the families I represent get to where we're going. So anyways, I'm super excited. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I want to know what we're shopping with. I know the Hernandez family does, and I'm super excited to get out there. And let's keep our fingers crossed to see how this goes. Hopefully they get approved for the amount that they want.
Buying your first home is a momentous occasion many of us have dreamed about for as long as we can remember. Meet first-time homebuyers Adrian, Nacole, and their family of 4 as they move forward buying their first family home.
We want to have space where we can run and stretch our feet and spread our wings and fly.
You'll be with them every step of the way from their home buying game plan meeting.
What makes you happy and excited when you visualize your home?
All the way to their closing day.
He's somewhere up there, proud of me, proud of him.
Watch their story unfold on Real Estate, the Untold Stories. The last time that we met up with Adrian and Nacole, we were going over their home buying game plan.
My man, Andrew.
Where you been hiding at? Today we're going to meet up with Bill Marin at New American Funding to do their home loan application together and let Bill review their mortgage options with them. Thank you so much for coming to Bill's office today to do your home loan application. I gotta know, what are you thinking and feeling right now, being that you've never applied for a mortgage before? You got some nervous jitters, or what's going through your mind? Excitement?
All of it, yeah. Nervous, excited.
I'm excited because I feel like I've put in some work to get to where we are today. So it's excited, but also nervous because you don't know exactly what's going to go down.
And if we can get that amount that we were talking about in the game plan meeting the other day.
Right, let's do it.
I know we were talking about Miss Alana getting into acting.
Oh, right. She's going to be in The Lion King coming up pretty soon.
That's going to be awesome. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
So we are to the right? Oh, after the good ladies. And so.
Thank you, good sir.
Adrian and Nacole have done the first step of the home loan application online. They've brought all the documents mentioned earlier with them for their meeting with Bill today.
Hi, my name is Bill Marin with New American Funding. I've been a loan officer and a sales manager now for 14 years here in Las Vegas. I was born and raised here in Las Vegas, Nevada, served in the United States Army. I am married, have an amazing wife, 4 sons, 8, 6, 2, and 5 months, and they are definitely my passions in life. You know, over the years of being here in Las Vegas, being in the mortgage industry. Nice to meet you.
This is Bill Marin.
Adrian, nice to meet you. Hi, what's your name? Having a positive impact on my community by helping other people buy homes and help understand the process and help make sense of all this craziness that goes along with the mortgage industry. All right, how you guys doing?
Good. Excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in. I know, obviously, you guys probably got some questions and stuff about the loan application and all that. Appreciate you guys doing the application online. It's so much easier when you do that, and then we can sit down. So there's 3 different ways to do a mortgage loan application. Number 1 is to do an application in person, sitting down with the person live face-to-face. The second way to do the application is to actually do the application over the phone, very traditional, just go through it over the phone. The third way is the way that we're finding more and more common, where more people are actually opting to do the application online. It takes about 15 minutes. You can do it in your shorts, at night, whenever you feel like it, when it's most convenient for you. Whichever way you decide to do a loan application is very, very important to make sure that you meet with your loan officer and actually review the application. Whether you meet in person or over the phone, it's always a good idea to review it to make sure nothing was missed.
So that brings us to the question of the day. How do you want to get pre-approved for your home loan? Do you prefer to meet in person? Do you prefer to do everything online? Or do you prefer to do a little bit of both, just like Adrian Nacole with meeting in person and doing it online? Tell us what you're thinking in the comments below.
The whole point of today is just to go over everything, make sure we didn't miss anything on the application, make sure we're all on the same page, and make sure you guys understand everything. So if you guys have any questions, definitely just let me know. Adrian, you're primarily the one on the loan. You guys are both on title together as a married couple. So Adrian, we're going to be going over all your information to make sure I didn't miss anything, okay? All right. And if I missed anything, you think of anything, just let me know.
The next step is confirming all of the details from the online form, such as names, cell phone numbers, and their current address.
And then your employment information. Adrian, if you want to just double check that right there, make sure that's all correct.
Right. Yes, it looks right.
All right.
That's right.
It always helps, man, when you do the application right.
Yeah, for real.
Put in all the information on the application.
I'm the one that put it in, right? Did you put it in right? I'm like, yeah, I put it in right.
All right. How big is the place that you're staying? Because I know it's an apartment, right?
942 square feet.
For the four of you?
A little over 200 square feet each.
Let's get that fixed for you right away.
2 1/4. 2 1/4.
Oh, I'm excited to get you guys into that house. That's good stuff. So the next thing we want to go over is just really how you guys are going to hold title, because obviously being a married couple, you have a few different ways to hold title. It's totally up to you guys. So what we'll do is we can go over the different forms of title later. Typically, most married couples do hold title as joint tenants. Joint tenants with right of survivorship, typically. But we'll go over those in detail later and actually break down each one of those. All right. And then the mailing address. Do you guys use your apartment address?
Yes.
Your current home address? Okay, perfect. Okay, next section is your income. So we want to make sure this is all dialed in, and obviously we understand your income might change throughout the process. Throughout the years, obviously your income might go up or down. So what we do is we're going to take the basic info now, and then we can figure out the exact income later once we review the income documentation.
Adrian's service in the Marines has entitled him to a VA loan.
What branch of service were you in?
Marine Corps.
Oh, nice, man. Thanks for your service, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Good stuff.
And you saw that he came prepared. He's got his tax returns.
I did.
And everything ready to go. He's
I
ready
did.
to do business over here, Bill.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It makes it so much easier when you do everything
They
right
need
up
bigger
front.
than 2 1/4 square feet.
I had all the papers ready. He just grabbed them.
I know, you're right. She told me
did
where it
all the
was.
work.
In all fairness. Where are they at?
I had it. Yeah.
As far as your assets go, who do you guys bank with? For your closing costs and the funds that you guys are going to be using for the loan, the earnest deposit, the appraisal, all of that, what account are you guys going to be using? And then is that the balance that you had put in there correct? Is that up to date as of today?
Correct.
Okay. The next step is to actually review your credit, which is kind of cool because a lot of times you look at like Credit Karma and these different apps and things that are not always 100% accurate. They show your score to be 740. Some people say it's 700. So what we'll do right now is we'll go over your credit report, which is going to be very detailed, very accurate, so you guys can see exactly what you got going on. So let me pull that up here for you. Perfect. So these are your 3 credit scores. Okay. So you guys are probably familiar with. You got the 3 different credit bureaus. You have Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, right? So we take the middle of the 3 scores, and that is actually what we use to determine your interest rate and different guidelines and things that might be available to you under your VA loan, which is great. Your credit score is definitely outstanding. It's definitely good enough to qualify for the VA loan, and it's going to get you all the benefits that you need to qualify for VA. So I think you guys are in good shape with your credit.
Good job.
It took me a while. That wasn't always the case.
We've all had that credit monkey, so don't feel bad. We've all had that credit monkey.
I will tell you, part of the research in the past couple years has been watching Mr. Andrew, and even you were on, I believe, a video with him a couple years ago, and I mean, you guys did a breakdown of a good, I think it was like a good 45-minute video.
Then you watched the VA home loan, the VA.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Process.
That was a good video, man. I'm like, Andrew, who's gonna watch us for an hour, man?
and legit, it was packed with everything that I really couldn't find anywhere else. To be honest. So it was really good, straightforward information. So I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Video, but yeah.
It looks really good. I really don't think you guys are gonna have a problem at all getting pre-approved, let alone getting your loan closed, right? But so the next thing is one of the most important things, like what the heck is my payment, right? You want to know what your monthly payment is,
That's what it always thinks.
and then not only like just your monthly payment, but explain what is broken down in the monthly payment, like what each one of those things are and why it is what it is. So we'll go over that real quick in detail. You probably hear the term like P&I, principal and interest, right? And then you got PITI. You hear that probably a lot. What that is that's going to include your principal and interest is just your mortgage, right? So that covers just what your mortgage payment is. It covers your principal, your interest that's actually getting paid to the mortgage company. The other part of that is what's called, most of it's going to be in what's called an escrow account. So the escrow account is, as you see here, it breaks down everything that's in there. You got your homeowner's hazard insurance, you have your property taxes, and then it shows here that you have an HOA included in the payment, but that's actually paid separately. We have to show it as part of your monthly liabilities because it is something that you do pay for, but you do pay it separate. Okay, so this, when you add everything up, your principal and interest, your home hazard insurance, which covers your home for anything that might happen to it, as far as like, kind of like we call them like God events, right? There's a tornado that runs through your neighborhood, something happens, your house, God forbid, burns down. It's going to cover the home to be rebuilt to protect you and to also protect the lender. Okay, so that's what that is there. And this is just a quote that we put in there that we got from one of our companies that we use, but you guys are more than welcome to just, contact whoever you guys use, whether it's one of the different companies you already have a relationship with, or whether you just want to get a couple quotes, so that way you can compare it to what we're going to provide you guys, and then you choose what you want. Okay, so that's your homeowner's insurance. And then the property taxes, that's set for a specific property. That right there is going to be dialed into the exact property taxes for the home you guys are buying. But as your home does go up in value, those property taxes could slightly go up a little bit. We're talking maybe $15, $20 a month. Okay. So it's called getting your home value reassessed. Okay. So
every year, just for reference, the county is going to reassess it. Every July is the fiscal year for the county, for Clark County. That's whenever, if and when it's going to happen, that reassessment is going to take place at that same time.
Yeah.
And with the specific property, when we get ready to go on the contract, I'm going to be sending all this information over the bill so that he can bust out a really good down and dirty principal, interest, property tax, and homeowner's insurance amount. And if you want him just for budgetary purposes to say, hey, this property was $50 a month HOA, or this one was $17, whatever the case may be, he can bust that out for your budgetary purposes. Yeah. So that's just me on the real estate side.
Yeah.
So, but I let him take it back over as a mortgage side.
So every property is different, right? Like you might be looking at one house that's $420,000, and it might be X for property taxes, but that same price house, the property taxes might be a little bit less or more, just depends on when it was reassessed and all that.
Wow, Bill's really getting into the details right here. The devil really is in the details, and he's making sure the Hernandez family is ready to go. If you're getting value out of this video, could you do me a huge favor, please? Would you smash that thumbs up button right now and hit that subscribe? It really means the world to me. All right, let's go ahead and jump right back into it.
It says your mortgage insurance. You don't have any mortgage insurance at all on your loan. Because VA does not require it. So what the VA does have is what's called the VA funding fee. And I know, Adrian, you and I were talking about that a little bit, right?
Right.
For you, there's no VA funding fee. Right. You're exempt, so it doesn't affect you at all. So the loan amount is basically the sales price. Okay. Right. Any questions about the monthly payment at all?
Do you ever see what? Because it says we're saving on the mortgage insurance. Do you ever see what it would be if it was? What would mortgage insurance, are we saving like a couple hundred dollars a month on it?
So yeah, easily. So and the thing about mortgage insurance, there's no benefit to you at all. So if you were to say, hey man, I don't want to use my VA loan, I want to wait, I want to do a conventional loan with like 3% down or something, which you could do, you're easily looking $200 to $300 a month with your credit scores on a conventional loan with that down payment. So by going VA, it's definitely a huge benefit.
Oh, wow.
So you're saving a few $100 a month. So, and then the closing costs. Now, again, this is just going to be a rough estimate, like Andrew probably told you. Closing costs range between 2 to 3%, just depending on the transaction. So the closing costs are all the things that come along with actually purchasing the home. You have most of your title and escrow fees, you have your lender fees, you have appraisals and all that. Once Andrew finds a specific property and we start figuring all that out, that's when we can see exactly what you're going to look at. But that's about roughly what you'd be looking at cash to close. So, make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
And then that's already with the earnest deposit already paid, right?
Yep, correct.
So that's just the balance of it, I guess.
So any deposit you make to open up escrow once you find the property, that'll be taken out of what the cash to close is required. And then when it comes time to lock your loan, which is typically done the same day or within a couple of days of going into contract, that's when you'll just make a decision if you want to pay any points or no points, or maybe increase your rate a little bit to cover closing costs, that kind of stuff. So So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, the application looks solid. You guys are not going to have a problem getting pre-approved. The next step is to actually, go over your documentation to look at your income, assets, and credit to really see what would be, just make sure this is all dialed in and accurate so we can issue the actual pre-approval letter.
And once we
Okay.
have the pre-approval, we can get out there to the fun part,
Yeah.
the sexy part, right? And tour some homes, right? And find the right one for you.
All right, guys, and this is something we call the do's and don'ts of the mortgage process, because you guys have probably you've heard the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe some friends that have bought homes and, man, they have these horrible experiences, and then some friends have these great experiences. Well, that is a big reason behind that is who they work with, right? They're working with a true professional, knows what they're doing, and it's important. Not only the realtor, obviously, because you got to be working with a professional realtor who's full-time, that's what they do, but also a mortgage professional who knows what they're doing, has got experience, and that can, guide you down the path. In regards to your credit, your finances, just call me first, right? Okay. If there's something that comes up, like for example, your tire blows, you got to go out of town for some type of family emergency, kid's sick, all that kind of stuff. We have 4 kids, I totally get it. But just call me first, especially if it involves your credit. There's some things to do and not to do when it comes to making sure you have a smooth closing. On the left-hand side there, the do's, you got 5 different things, and the don'ts on the other side, you got 5 different things. So the do's, you want to make sure you're educated to understand what your financial goals are in the process. Don't lose your job. You want to make sure that if there is a job change, it does happen. Communicate that with your loan officer as soon as possible. Make sure you're not trying to hide anything from them, because we usually do find out in the end anyways. Any payments that you're currently making, your mortgage, your credit cards, your car payments, anything that you're currently paying, make sure you continue to make those payments and make them on time. The other thing really helps, this next thing on there, is all of your financial documents. Just make sure that you are organized. Make sure you know where your W-2s are, where your tax returns are, where your bank statements are. If you don't know, communicate that with your loan officer, and we should be able to help you kind of get that organized together. If you're getting a gift from a family member, a close family friend, something like that, where they're going to be giving you money to help out with your down payment and closing costs, you want to make sure you communicate that up front to your loan officer. And very important, don't just have that cash thrown in your bank account. Don't just deposit it, because there's a good chance if it's cash, your lender will not be able to use it. So definitely get your loan officer involved on that up front. So guys, those are all the do's. On the right-hand side is all the don'ts. Don't make any massive deposits in your bank account that are not, tied to your payroll. If you win playing blackjack, if you sell something on, Poshmark or something, you want to put it into your account. Just don't. Communicate that with your loan officer before you do. And then anything that you're wanting to take out, you want to take cash out and buy things. Again, if it involves your finances that you've already given to your lender, communicate that to your loan officer to give them a heads up. This is a big one. So when you're going through and you're buying a home, that next thing down there, you want to make sure you don't have any overdrafts on your bank account. You want to make sure that you can show your lender that you are in a good financial position. Like, we get it, sometimes things happen, but it can be a very negative thing if you've got a very difficult loan file and then all of a sudden you start having overdrafts because you didn't have enough money to cover your normal bills. So definitely make sure that's on point. Don't give out your credit information to anyone. Very important. Do not have your credit pulled by anyone else for any reason, unless it's needed. If it is something that's needed, definitely communicate that to your loan officer as soon as possible to keep us in the loop so we know what's going on and we're all on the same page. Because we get it, life does happen, but just important that we kind of help you figure that out while you're in the process. The last thing there is, this is a big deal, it's cash. So we get it, a lot of us have cash in safes. We got, some people got cash under the mattress. There is more than one way to skin a cat. There is ways around it, things we can do, but please do not take that cash and just throw that cash into your account and expect to be able to use that for an earnest deposit. If you have cash, please talk to your loan officer first, find out the best way around using that money if it's even possible to do so. So guys, that's it. The do's and don'ts, very important. Definitely make sure you get with your loan officer, chat with them about that. If you have any questions at all, definitely let us know. Make sense?
Perfect.
So this is your guys' to hold on to. Some people, I think they're a little bit out there and I have them sign it and then I make a copy, but I think you guys are pretty on top of it. So you guys can just take that with you and then just reference it if you got any questions.
Do hold on to this.
Do hold on to it.
Do hold on to it. The sixth do hold on to it, please. Yes.
Thank you.
All
Awesome.
Right on. All right, guys, based on what I see here, based on what we're looking at, everything looks really good. I don't think you guys are going to have any problem at all getting pre-approved. Definitely up to what you're asking for, maybe even a little bit more. So the next step is to actually verify all the income and asset documentation so we can see, make sure everything matches up to what we got here. And as long as it does, we can issue a pre-approval tonight and get you guys on your way. So there's definitely a very important thing to understand, which is the difference between a loan application pre-approval and a loan pre-qualification. A lot of people think it's the same thing. They're very, very different. It's important to understand the differences. The main difference is one of them is very solid. It's been, your application's been completed. You've went through it with your loan officer. You've made sure there's nothing missing. And we've actually validated all of your income, your assets, and your credit to make sure what we went over was actually accurate. And it's much stronger to have that. And then take a look at the taxes. So let's see here. You guys told the truth. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
The other is a pre-qualification letter. What a pre-qualification letter is just an application's done, credits run, and then we might have some type of automated approval that's been done. Not as solid when you're out there wanting to compete with other buyers that have actually done a full, true pre-approval. And those pre-approvals, what's going to actually be validated is sometimes your W-2s and your tax returns, complete tax returns, pay stubs, bank statements, 401ks, anything that you're actually using towards the purchase of your home. All right, based on what you guys put on the application, based on all the documentation you have here, all I got to do now is just run a quick little approval on my end. And as long as that kicks out an approval, I can definitely issue that pre-approval and get you out looking for houses with Andrew. All right, guys, congratulations. So we got an approval. So what that means now is you guys are approved up to that price you're looking for. You guys can go out, start looking at some houses, and now the fun part starts. Now all this stuff is done, and then we'll talk to you guys soon.
Oh, nice.
All right.
We're excited. Thank
Any
you.
more questions at all about any of this stuff at all?
I think we're good.
We're good. We're good. Now that we got, I mean, the approval was, that's like our golden ticket.
Yeah.
So now we can go put that ticket to use.
Yeah. Right on, guys. Well, congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
Happy house
Thanks
hunting.
a lot, Bill. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Nice to meet you guys. Bye,
You
girls.
too.
Bye. We'll see you later. Bye.
So now that you've done a home loan pre-application with Bill and he's verified everything, gave us the pre-approval, so I mean we did like everything, right?
Yeah.
How's it feel? Is it scary? Is it like that not scary berry farm?
It's not scary. No. It's more like you're anxious about it, but I honestly felt like we had things in order. When you feel like you kind of have things in order, it's not that scary. It's not like it's a lottery because it's like things should be good. You're kind of thinking, and things were good.
Fantastic. Well, that's good to hear. So it goes back to that fear. Fear really being an acronym for false evidence appearing real.
That's right.
All right. Well, fantastic. Well, let's get out there. You know, I take it since it's dark that we're going to go house hunting maybe tomorrow.
Oh, definitely. I'm off tomorrow, so I mean,
We're going to hit it up.
We're gonna hit it up.
Hopefully that you see after Adrian Nacole's experience going through the home loan application process, there realistically is nothing to be afraid of. Sometimes when people are thinking about buying a home, they hesitate to contact a trusted real estate advisor and they hesitate to contact a loan officer at the right time, which is more often than not earlier on rather than later. Hopefully now that you see that it's not a scary thing, you can make that happen. Now, speaking of making things happen, I'm going to go get ready to go on home tours with Adrian Nacole. I'm super excited and pumped up for them. Ready for you to join us next.
Coming up next time,
Oh yeah.
Andrew gives a home tour to the Hernandez family
We want to have space. We want to have space where we can run and stretch our feet and spread our wings and fly.
and gives Adrian lots of tips for having a home with a pool, along with lots of laughs and fun throughout the tour.
I'm a pony.
This is where I go off on my own.
Is this the home they see their kids growing up in?
1 to 5,
I honestly came up here with this house needing to wow me.
Mr. Adrian.
This is it's